Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I feel like it's been forever, but it's only been like a week. I'm super excited for you guys to see this tutorial. It's probably one of my favorite looks I've done on my channel. In this look, I do use all MAC shadows. I think 3 of them are from one of their large pre-made palettes. However, for each of those, I do give substitutions in case you don't have that palette. That way you don't feel like you need to go buy the big palette just for 3 shades, even though I do love that palette. I always like want to ramble about something. Normally I have something to ramble about, but the last couple of videos I've got nothing. Let's just jump into the tutorial. Okay, so I have already primed my eyes using my MAC 24-Hour Eye Base, as always. I'm going to go over that using my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair Beige. This has been my favorite way to prime my eyes recently, instead of setting my primer with a powder. I've just been going over it with this because it dries down to a powdery matte finish and my shadows blend really pretty on top of it, but I don't lose any intensity. And it lets me brighten up that inner corner before I put my shadows on, so I don't have to worry so much about concealing that after my shadows. And you can definitely prime using just this. I just lay down the 24-Hour Eye Base first because I like a little extra insurance. I am going to be using shadow shields today just to get a pretty defined line and to catch some fallout. You are more than welcome to use just some tape. Nothing at all. It's totally fine. And these are nice because unlike tape, they will catch fallout. Okay, so most of the shadows, in fact, I think all of the shadows I'll be using today are from MAC. So the first one I'll be using is from the Times 15 Cool Palette. It is this shade here, which looks like nothing, but it is a really pretty cool toned transition shade. This one is in the shade Cozy Gray. It is only available in the palette. However, if you have the shade Omega, it will be a little bit deeper, but that will work just as well. So I'm using that shade on a MAC 217 and running that over the brow bone. Next, I'm using the shade Girlie on a smaller blending brush. Taking that a little more directly in the crease just below the brow bone. Next, on a 221, an even smaller blending brush, I'm taking the shade Haux. On a Luxie 221 flat definer brush, I'm going to take the tiniest amount in the shade Blackberry and work that just on the outer edge where that concealer meets the crease. I'll go back in with that MAC 221 and just make sure that there are no harsh lines. For my lid shade, I'm going back to that Times 15 Cool Palette and using this shade called Flounce. If you don't have the Cool palette, you can also use the shade Yogurt from MAC. That would be an awesome substitution. In fact, the first time I did this look, I thought I owned the shade Yogurt, and that's what I was looking for, and used this as a substitution for that. So using the shade Flounce on a Sigma E56 brush, going to press that right on top of the concealer. And with this shade, it's so important to press it instead of buff it, because you want it really, really intense. And I have reloaded my brush several times to get that intensity. For under my lashes, I'm going back to that Luxie 221 brush in the shade Haux. For under my brows, I'm using this highlight shade in the palette called Pick Me Up. If you have Blanc type by MAC, that would work well also. Any bright, matte, creamy white shade. Once I get that brow highlight on, I'm going back to that 217 brush with nothing extra on it. I'm going right on the outer edge where that brow highlight meets that transition shade. For liner, I'm using MAC's LiquidLast Liner. That way, if his gift's just so good, it brings you to tears, at least your eyeliner's not going to end up all over your face, because this stuff doesn't budge. And of course, you don't have to add a wing. I'm going to add a little bit. For mascara, I'll use this one by Marc Jacobs. This is the Velvet Noir Major Volume. This stuff holds up pretty nicely too. I had an emotional breakdown the other day and it didn't run very much. I'm going to go do my foundation and brows, and I'll be back and we will finish up the rest of the look. So for bronzer, which I obviously need, I'm going to use my Bare Minerals High Dive. For contour, I'm using Baby Don't Go. Every time I use this, I'm blown away by how much it does. Like, even when I'm at my darkest, I feel like it does a little something. Yes, girl. For blush, I'm going to use Dainty by MAC. I'm going to highlight using my Makeup Forever Starlit Powder in shade 13. It's hands down the prettiest highlighter I own. I would normally highlight the inner corner of my eye with that, and you can. But I'm going to add a little something extra here in a minute. A little something fun. For lashes, I'm going to use these by Eileen. I actually like these a lot better than I thought I would when I got them. And sometimes I feel like it's hard to find a lash that gives quite a bit of length without giving quite a bit of volume. And if you put a lash that has too much volume on it, it will cover up all this work that you've done on the eye. And if you find a lash that has a lot of length, it tends to be real wispy and not so dramatic. That's why I like these, is because they are a dramatic lash. Okay. For lips, I'm going to fill all the way in using Soar Lip Pencil by MAC. My favorite. Once I have that all the way filled in, I'm going on top with Anastasia liquid lipstick in the shade Milkshake, my other favorite. These are two of my favorite lip colors, but I don't wear them together that often, but I like it. So this can be your final look. I really like it. I like the all matte eye. I like the lip. I think they complement each other really pretty. I think that this is a nice romantic Valentine's Day look. I think that this is very appropriate for many ages, for many skin tones. I think a lot of people could pull this off. However, I want to be a little extra, glam it up just a smidge, and add one extra step. Going to take a little bit of lash adhesive. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of lash adhesive. You can use glitter glue or whatever kind of adhesive that you prefer. And I'm going to lay that down on the inner corner. You can take just a small shader brush and spritz it with Fix Plus. just to help hold the product to it. This is Reflex Transparent Pink by MAC, and I'm pressing that on top of where I put that lash adhesive. Of course, the camera is not going to pick it up and you can't see how scrumptious and delicious it is in person. But again, that's only if you want to be really extra. I am going to have to pop a little bit of blush on top of that lip just because mine are so dry. This is, what is it, Moon Jelly by Anastasia, Beverly Hills. It doesn't change up the color too much. Okay, I'm going to zoom in and see if I can get that glitter to pick up a little more. So this is the completed look. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. Hit the bell icon if you want to be notified every time I post a video. Comments, questions, requests, anything you want to talk about, leave them in the comment section below. Sometimes it takes me a little bit, but I try to get back to everybody. Sometimes life just happens and I get a little overwhelmed is all. I'm sure I will post other videos before Valentine's Day. I think I want to do like a red lip look because that's kind of classic Valentine's Day. Gotta have a red lip look. Duh. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Oh god, I look like I have a mullet. Oh.